Today, from Seattle, Washington, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the New Orleans Saints.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto district of Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines and this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
Play action. Now it's Lock. He finds his man, complete. It's Hodges. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. First play from scrimmage all the way into the end zone. And look, the pass was good, but that run after the catch, that's what was really impressive.
And I think the big question I have is, where were the safeties? Where was the tackling? Because going into this game, they had to know that they were going to be tested. That was a part of the defense that had to stand up. And on that play, not even close.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30, the 40, 20. And down inside the 10, they finally stop him. But what a return. It'll be first and goal. So here are the Saints now with great starting field position. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away, because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score. Give yourself
touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Now for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Locke going to throw. Buying time to his left. He finds his man complete. That's Hodges. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Seattle.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On play action, Locke. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll find its tight end. It's Adam Troutman. The numbers for him from a week ago: 6 catches, 65 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, #1, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown of the game, #7 on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. The extra point splits the uprights, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Well, the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking,
a fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Pretty entertaining start. 14-all the score on EA Sports. They fake the handoff. Now Locke. Flush to his right. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. A big pickup there on the scramble.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Block off of play action. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Another shot from the one on 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Locke. Steps away. And he's got it. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Locked now on 3rd and goal. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week.
He's got a man complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Locke to throw. Catch is made by Metcalf. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Seahawks on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And the highlights roll, and there have been a lot of them.
He is absolutely stuffing the stat sheet, isn't he? I mean, you name it, he's doing it. Getting in the end zone, check. Multiple times, big check, right? How about the yardage total?
Over 100, check.
Big check. So that means he's breaking down the defense every which way, and so far, they've had no answer for him.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now ETN to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run with ETN. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. The point after is good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Tied at 28 as he kicks it away. Lockett the return. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down the field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
That's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
On 2nd and 10, Lock. He hits his target, Lockett. Touchdown! Tyler Lockett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up and have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far. And fun to watch. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We have been treated to great offense on both sides. The defense is on the other end of the spectrum. They're just searching for answers right now, aren't they?
And for most defenses, it's a very uncomfortable and in a lot of ways unfamiliar spot because points are going to be scored. But the way we're seeing them today, It's almost like there's no resistance. They've got to figure out how to slow these offenses down. Maybe someone on either side can make a big play and start to wreck and disrupt the timing that we're seeing.
As we get closer to halftime here. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front as that game draws closer to halftime. A touchdown there for Alvin Kamara. From there, we take the long trek eastward to Tampa, check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And right now they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Jameis Winston with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. The Rams still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. In the game you're watching, it's been Drew Lock with a strong first half. His 5 touchdown passes have him on a record pace. As for the call of the second half, we'll turn it back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And Charles, he's been spectacular. 4 touchdown passes, yet his guys, they trail.
And that is so difficult to actually believe with the way that he has played as you watch him find his guys open downfield or throw them open. 4 flicks of the wrist, 4 touchdown passes. If he keeps that up, though, they may not trail for long.
And now he'll be in search of touchdown pass number 5. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. picked off at the 46. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Locke. Sliding out of the pocket. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. Now the try here for the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. How does the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here? And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They'll start on the ground, ETN. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. A very quick pass to Ridley.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A handoff for ETN. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. He'll drop to throw. And that's complete to ETN out of the backfield. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. off looking right. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? They'll set up a throw. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas, 43 yards. And the Saints are back within a score. Now the Saints offense will remain on the field and go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he'll get in for the 2 points. And that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Lockett the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000-yard mark. And all the time we talk about these guys out wide like him that are so athletic and can do so many things. But take us a little deeper. How has he done it this year?
Well, you helped with this because when we sat down with him before the game and discussed his season, and you said to him, okay, I have a vision that you, similar to a pitcher, change up a lot of things, right? Different arm angles, different slots that a pitcher would do. You do that with your route running and all that. And I loved his response. He said, yeah, I do that. But one of his best friends is a world-ranked tennis player. And he talked about serves and how you change up, take pace off, do different things. And he incorporated that into his route running.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Saints are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction. I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
On second down, Etienne once more. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he is going to have a Saints first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
First down and more, Etienne. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now back to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So with less than a minute gone by here in this 4th quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great 4th quarter.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1? Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play there for Seattle. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And that is caught. What a catch at the 3-yard line. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Locke, rolling to his left. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll go as a loss on the play, not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. They look to throw. It's Locke. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
He'll find ETN out of the backfield.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
That's complete to Troutman, right side.
And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Seahawks have recovered.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football, but this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the 4th now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run again with Carson, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. A field goal try would be almost 50 yards from this spot, so what can they do to get closer now on 3rd down? The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They run for it with Carson. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now it's Carson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. On 2nd down now, it's Carson, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. On 3rd down, Carson. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Rodgers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll look to throw.
Pass complete, Thomas. And they'll get him down after a gain of 7, but they'll happily give him that.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Rodgers. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it would have been a long one, but that was the spot that they put themselves in, Charles, forcing him to try from long distance, and he comes up empty.
And you know what happens oftentimes when you're trying to kick a little bit beyond your range, you overkick it, right? Don't get all of it. In this situation, they cannot point fingers at him. They've got to go back and examine their play calls, how they tried to traverse the ball down the field, and why they didn't get bigger chunks of yardage in order to set up a field goal that was much more manageable.
Yeah, because 5 to 10 yards there could have made a world of difference. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm